Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create a website using HTML5 through Visual Studio 2012. You will be shown how to create a website utilizing ASP.NET, how to use master pages, and how to create cascading style sheets in Visual Studio 2012. I highly recommend that you follow along in Visual Studio 2012 while watching this video if you are able to do so. Also, feel free to rewind or replay any parts of this video that you may have missed or that you are unsure of. Alright, let's begin. To get started, we will need to open up Visual Studio 2012. Alright, now that Visual Studio is loaded, we can go ahead and add a new website project. Go to File, New, and select Website. In this tutorial, I will be using Visual Basic, but you can choose either between Visual Basic or Visual C#. We're going to go ahead and select the ASP.NET empty website. And down over here in the web location, we're going to leave the standard address, which is in my Documents Visual Studio 2012 Projects folder. And go ahead and click OK. Alright, now our website is started and we can begin coding. Now that we have our project started, we can go ahead and add a web form to the website. One way to do this is to go to our website in Solution Explorer, right click, go to Add New Item, and then this window will appear. To the left, you have the option selected between Visual Basic and Visual C#. In this example, we're just going to stick with Visual Basic. In the center portion, you can pick from different options to add different types of forms to the website. For this, we're just going to stick with Web Form and leave the default .aspx name here. And go ahead and click Add. Alright, now we have a web form added to our website. I'm going to go ahead and customize this site a little bit and add some content to it. For title, let's go ahead and call it Tutorial. And then in the body, let's go ahead and add a header. And let's call it This is the Header. Alright, and below that, let's go ahead and add a navigation bar. And first, let's add a link to the default .aspx website we just created. And let's call it Home. Next, let's go ahead and add another page for another form we'll be adding in a little bit, called default2.aspx. And let's go ahead and call that Contact. And let's add one more form, or one more link to the website, called default3.aspx. And let's go ahead and call this one Location. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add a side tag that we'll add to the website down over here towards the bottom. And then let's also add a footer. And in there we'll just write, This is the footer. Alright, now you have your basic web form set up. Alright, now let's go ahead and add a cascading style sheet to the website. One way to do this is to go to the Solution Explorer, right click on the website, go to Add New Item, and then we're going to scroll down until we see Style Sheet. Go ahead and select it. And for the name, we'll just leave the default stylesheet.css name. and go ahead and click Add. Now this should look really familiar to you. Here we can add whatever CSS styling we want for our web project. So let's go ahead and add some stuff. For the body, let's do text align center. Let's do font size 18 point. And let's do background color light blue. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add a side tag too here. And for that, we're going to do text align left. Alright, you can feel free to add whatever other styling you want to your CSS style sheet, but to keep things simple, we're just going to leave it as it is. And let's go ahead and have our default.aspx form inherit the style sheet. To do so, we're going to go back to our Solution Explorer and select the default.aspx web form. And then click and hold the stylesheet.css file and drag it over into the header section of our default.aspx web form. Alright, and there you go. Now the CSS files link to the default.aspx website. Next, we're going to add a master page to the web project. To do so, we're going to go back to the Solution Explorer, right-click on Website, go to Add, Add New Item, and then we're going to scroll until we find Master Page, which is... there we go. And for the name, we'll just leave the default master page.master name and go ahead and click Add. Alright, now we have a master page file that other pages can inherit from. Let's go ahead and copy the code that we added in the default.aspx file. Let's copy the header in the navigation section. And let's go ahead and paste that into the master page file. And let's also copy the footer section and paste that over too. Now, with the master page, we have these things called content placeholders. Inside these content placeholders, we can assign certain attributes, and the other pages will have their own little section where they can input what they want into those sections. So in this example, let's go ahead and take that aside tag and let's place it around the content placeholder. Alright, now any forms that inherit the master page.master file can have a special content placeholder for the aside tag. Let's go ahead and add two other forms to the website. To do so, let's go back to Solution Explorer and right-click on Website. Go to Add, Add New Item, and we're going to select Web Form. For the name, we'll leave it at default2.aspx, and make sure to select Master Page down over here. And now go ahead and click Add. Now the master page that we created should be selected by default. If it is not, go ahead and do so. And go ahead and click OK. Alright, let's go ahead and do the same thing and create one more form called default3.aspx. Back up to Website, right click, Add, Add New Item, Web Form, default3.aspx. Make sure the select master page is selected. Select Add. Make sure master page.master is selected. And OK. Alright, now we have two different web forms, default2.aspx and default3.aspx, that both are going to inherit from the master page.master file. Now, from those aside tags we created, let's go ahead and add some content into these different web forms. In this example, I'm just going to use an image that I have saved on my hard drive. Okay, this is going to be a picture of me. Alright. And then for the default 2, let's add a picture in that site too. And this is going to be a picture of a kitten with earphones on. Alright, now we have the two different forms inheriting from the master page.master file with custom content placed in the content placeholders. Let's go ahead and try everything out and see if it works. One last thing before we continue, let's go back to our master page.master file. And let's go ahead and link our style sheet.css file to the master page. To do that, we'll do the same thing that we did in the default.aspx page and click and hold the style sheet.css file and place it over into the header section of the master page.master file. Alright, let's go ahead and select the default.aspx file and let's test out our solution. Alright, here you see the default.aspx file, and with this file, nothing is inherited. It's all its own code that's written into that web form. Let's go ahead and click contact and watch the inheritance take place. Alright, and there you have it. The content placeholder of the kitten with the earphones on is placed in the side tag, which is placed to the left of the web form. And let's go ahead and click location. And now you see a picture of me that was placed in that content placeholder. Alright, now let's say that we want our default.aspx file now to inherit from the master page instead of having its own code placed in it. To do so, let's go ahead and close this window. And in the top header portion of this page, we're going to have to link to the master page file. So to do so, we're going to type master page file equals tilde master page dot master. And all this other code needs to go now because we're going to be putting the content placeholders in here instead. So let's go ahead and highlight all that and let's delete the code. And to get the code, we can just simply copy it from one of the other forms. So let's go to the default 3.aspx form. Go ahead and select all the code. And go back to the default.aspx site. And let's go ahead and put a different image in here too, just to make everything different. I have a animated GIF of a chicken dancing. Alright, now we can go ahead and test our solution and make sure everything works correctly. Alright, there you have it. Now the default.aspx form is inherited from the master page file. And just to make sure, let's click on contact to make sure that's still working correctly. And also on location. Alright, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope that through this you learned how to use the content placeholders through ASP.NET. And also learned how to build websites using Visual Studio. Makes it a lot nicer than instead of using just that Notepad++. Alright, thank you so much.